It's time now to review headlines from today's newspapers. And as ever, we begin with This Day. Steve, over to you.
All right, thank you, Adefemi. We'll start with This Day newspaper, the newspaper of record. The lead story here, very important. After 15 years hiatus, population census confirmed for next year. And with the rider, Buhari set to make proclamation as exercise gets 178 billion in budget 2022. That's a good one, 15 years after. At least this will put rest to the speculations. Yep. How many are we? How many houses have we got? Because without adequate census, you can't plan very well. Absolutely. And let's just hope that with this sizable budget for next year, a good census will be conducted in Nigeria. We'll know how many people are in Lagos, how many people are in Kano, how many people is in Oyo, in Anambra. You know, how many are we? It is important 15 years after. On top of the lead story, we have Obasanjo. Despite current challenges, my faith in Nigeria unshakable, says there is hope in the determination, resilience, indomitable spirit of the people. I think this type of stance has come to define, former President Obasanjo, and I really, personally, commend him for that pro-Nigerian outlook that he has always projected. So it's basically saying that in spite of all the problems and troubles that we might be going through, the determination, the resilience, the indomitability of the Nigerian spirit can always pull us through. So it's basically canvassing for unity and togetherness. I commend him on that. On top of the masthead, we have the story with 200 billion naira capitalization. President tells NNPC to compete with global best. This is as a result of the Petroleum Industry Act that has been signed, which now makes NNPC to become a limited liability company. And to compete. They've got seed money for them to to kickstart their operations now, and it's not small money. 200 billion naira capitalization. The president is giving them a charge, go compete like the others elsewhere. On the window, which the story which is supported by the cover picture, is about the funeral of the billionaire businessman Idausa Okumbo, buried amid eulogies. And according to Obaseki, the governor of Edo State, he was an uncommon Nigerian genius, breaker of glass ceilings, bridge builder. A good one coming from Governor Obaseki there, given the troubled relationship he had with the deceased just before the elections last year. Last but not the least is a story that you readers will find on page 6 of This Day. Tinubu returns after 90-day medicals in London. The social media was awash last night of the return of the Jagaban of Bogu, the national leader of APC, returning to the country after 3 months of looking after his health. I'm sure that in the days and weeks to come, we will hear the roar of the Jagaban.
I'm certain of that.
Those are the stories that we have on the cover of This Day for today.
Lovely.
Do we go to the Saturday Vanguard?
Absolutely. So on the cover of the Saturday Vanguard, the 2023 presidency takes its place. Pressure mounts on PDP to throw the ticket open. Fresh tension as McCarthy and Shema Dankwambo join the chairmanship race. Of course, that is still hotly being contested over within the PDP.
Yeah.
Uche Secondus is
Is in court. Well, let's see what happens.
Let's see how that goes.
Yeah.
Let's tread carefully on zoning, says the BOT chair. Yes, on the Vanguard.
Yes,
Am I okay to continue?
Yes, go on. Please.
Lovely. So to the left-hand side, Buhari's debt forgiveness request is dead on arrival, says Olufalaye. Falaye. Thank you. And he speaks on what's wrong with the Nigerian economy and how he thinks it should be turned around. You can read more on that, page 10. A 10-year-old housemaid sadly has been forced to drink hot, peppery water and battles for her life. I think that is part and parcel of the reality of many domestic stuff in this country, unfortunately. Not everybody has the privilege of working for kind-hearted people in the domestic space in this country. So we do wish that young person, it's not clear whether they are a boy or a girl, probably a girl, will have a speedy recovery. But why is a 10-year-old even in a situation like that in the first place?
I just don't get it.
It's awful. Yeah. Kingsley Moghalu has joined the ADC. You can read more on his decision to do that on page 8. On the topic of the 2022 budget, though, INEC gets 100 billion naira for the 2023 direct elections. That's for defense, infrastructure, education lead with 5.15 trillion naira allocation. You can read more on that on page 9. To the very top, just before we hand over and go to another paper, many have been killed, houses burnt as soldiers and youths clash in Imo State. You can read more on page 18. A 13-year-old boy who was stowed away in Benin Lagos bound plane is now in a university. Some good news there, despite the circumstances. And finally, the Southwest is undecided on Tinubu, Osinbajo, and Fayemi. Say that they share a common disability as part of Buhari's administration, says the Vanguard, and lists qualities candidates from the region must possess. You can read more on that on page 12.
I wonder who's supposed to take the decision for the Southwest.
Well, that is the question.
All right, so we quickly move to Saturday Telegraph, where we have the lead story, Amechi, Adebanjo, Pogu, others, saying the president Nigeria needs in 2023. They're saying that the next leader must be a unifier, not ethnic champion, and that new constitution restructuring, improved electoral system, tasks before next commander-in-chief. Those are Saturday Telegraph speaking with eminent Nigerians, those in government and those outside, on who should be the type of president that Nigeria deserves next year. And on top, in 2023,
exactly. It feels like next year, doesn't it?
It looks like next year, isn't it? You know. On top of that, below the masthead is declare state of emergency in northern states before threatening Anambra, Ezeife, Adegoke, Ubani to the federal government. That you will find on page 3. Again, we have discussed that today, on the show, to say that, what is good in one place should be either the same thing that you apply on the other. Quickly, a few more stories. Insecurity, defense gets lion's share of 2.41 trillion in 2022 appropriation. That's according to the finance minister. And then over 2.5 million voters to elect next governor, says INEC. That's on the Anambra election. We've discussed the Obasanjo's faith in Nigeria. And then this important one from FRS, only 41 million Nigerians pay taxes, leaving 51 million shortfall. Okay, I mean, that's...
Tax fans are going to be happy to hear that.
It's not enough to just say only 41 million. Yes. It is the job of the FRS to pull people, into the net and make sure that the other 51 million also pay taxes.